Okay, the recording has been started. So we are in this series of discussing Bhagavad Gita with the medical aspect. So in this, we will discuss this little bit about the diet also, because the diet is also described, or the concept of diet is hidden in Bhagavad Gita. So let's start with the holistic diet in Bhagavad Gita. In this presentation, we will review the spiritual and qualitative explanation why to avoid the non-vegetarian food or non-vegetarian diet. The best method for food consumption for health, and that how we should consume the food, what food or which kind of food or what food we should consume. That so many dietitians, so many modern doctors are there, that they will tell you what to eat, but how to eat, okay, that is not described in or that might not be told by the dietitian. And the sattvic, rajas, and tamasic food also. Okay, and success keys to achieve the mental peace. So we are ending today with this in this series. So we'll see a success key to achieve a mental peace also at the end of this presentation. So let's start with the spiritual and qualitative explanation why I should avoid the non-vegetarian food. You will observe in spirituality and in yoga, non-vegetarian food is always not recommended. Okay, or you will or you if you are following any spiritual practices or religious practices, or maybe anything in any yoga practices or any yoga sadhanas, then you will be always told or you will be always recommended that please restrict your non-vegetarian food. Okay, so why what is the answer of this? So in 14th chapter, in 16th sutra, it is mentioned. It is sorry for that I couldn't make it available all the sutras for you here. So is 14th chapter 16th sutra says sattva guna is a kind of a pure sattva guna is always found in fruits and vegetables. Okay, which is a or vegetarian diet. Okay, rajas guna gives you the pain. Okay, and tamas guna leads the ajnana. So whenever we are having any non-vegetarian food, in previous session, yeah, I think in yesterday's session, we discussed that why when the vegetarian and non-vegetarian food is allowed. For my food, why I should kill someone's life, okay, or why I have to make someone else, because we what is our thinking pattern, that human being, all other things and then the human being is made for the human being. Okay, so we have this kind of ego. Okay, in COVID-19 care also, or in that fighting with COVID with yoga, or that in that session also we discuss that we are causing the disturbances in the lives of other species, and COVID-19 is the output of that. So we are thinking here in this earth that we are the boss of the nature, and nature, animals, and so many things. All the species are our slave, and we have the right, or we have the we can kill them and we can eat them. Okay, so this is our thinking pattern. Of course, the first principle or the first aim of the human life is to protect him. If the human life, or if a if a person is caught in such circumstances like Antarctica, like tropical countries, like deserts, where the any vegetarian food is not found, at that time, just for the sake of survival, you can go and have non-vegetarian food. But wherever country like India, or there are so many countries where the vegetarian food is available in lot of quantity. So there is no need of killing the other animals and destroying their species and nourishing your own body. Because whenever I am eating any non-vegetarian food, I am acquiring their qualities, their animal qualities. I will lead to tamas guna, and just now we discussed what will happen if I will have the tamas guna at the time of death. I will again have that kind of species body in next birth. So non-vegetarian food is a kind of a, whenever I'm promoting a non-vegetarian food, it is a kind of a murder. I am promoting the murder, or I am promoting the killing of the other species. When I ask for non-vegetarian food, I promote the killing of the other species. So this is a murder. This is a sentence to death, or sentence of death. My demand of non-vegetarian food leads to the sentence of death for other living creature. Okay, nobody, no living creature, like all the non-vegetarian food resources, or that they are the living animals, they are not coming to the you and asking that please kill me and eat me. Okay, so you are cutting them, you are catching them, you are killing them forcefully. Okay, and vegetarian food, whatever the vegetarian food we get, that is derived from the plants. No, fruits are going to fall from the plants or the trees. Okay, we pluck the fruit, but after, when it become ripen, or we pluck the vegetables when it become ripen. So anyhow, if we will not cut them, that they are, that is going to be fall, or that is going to be useless. So, but the animal life is not like that. Okay. So this is a kind of a murder. Killing animals at the time of getting killed, no, getting killed by animals is actually a crime. Okay, according to the law of nature, suppose if I want to eat today, should I kill you? I will kill another human being and I will eat that human being. Is that allowed? It is not allowed. You will be punished by the law and order of the land. Okay, if you are killing a human being. But similarly, when the law of the nature is considered, you are not allowed to kill any other life for just for the sake of your food. Okay, and that's the reason, because in front of the nature, the humans and the animals are having the equal existence. We are thinking just for our, with our perspective, not others perspective. Okay, so and when if you think with the perspective of the nature, the dog, the elephant, the tiger, the human is equal for the nature. They are all we are all the children of the nature. No, the mother will never like that I should promote my first son and I should demote my next son, second son, or third son. She don't behave like this. And mother nature, for mother nature, all the animals, humans are equal to animals. Okay, so the mother nature don't like to that one of my son is killing my another son and eating them. And basically, one another reason of not having, you know the animals are also having hormones. If suppose today I am coming and killing you, what a kind of feeling pattern, or what a kind of psychological state you must be you will possess. You will be full of afraid. If someone is coming and kidnapping you, will you be happy? Someone is killing you. Okay, so as you will be you will be full of frightenedness, you will be full of fear. That no, whenever we are catching the animals and killing them, at that time the stress hormones are getting secreted in the animal body. They are, because they are afraid completely. You think now you are an animal, you are a goat, you are a fish, you are a hen. Okay, now someone is coming and killing me. Okay, what kind of, will they be happy? Will you be able to be very happy? Oh, please come and kill me. No, you will be full of fear. A lot of stress hormones, lot of cortisols, lot of enzymes will be secreting in your body. And then that hormones and enzymes have the impact on their flesh, on their muscles. And we are eating that muscles, we are eating that flesh, which is full of cortisols, full of stress hormones, full of enzymes. And then that promotes that similar hormones in the human body. And that's why, that is the reason the people who are eating non-vegetarian food adopt the tamasic qualities more. They become like animal. Okay, so humans don't need, we are not carnivorous animal. Okay, like tiger is a carnivorous animal, he has to eat the other another animal. Human body or human species is not a carnivorous animal on the earth. We are a herbivorous animal. Okay, basically we have adopted our digestive system to eat the non-vegetarian food. Okay, initially the baby, do the baby eat non-vegetarian food from the starting? No, the baby is living on the milk of the mother. After that he starts living on the milk of the cow or milk of different animals, but on the milk. One fine day we teach him to eat the non-vegetarian food, okay, to the child when he becomes 1 year old or 2 years old. No, we make that digestive system to adopt the non-vegetarian food. Okay, from otherwise, from from the starting the baby should have baby should be able to eat the non-vegetarian food, but it's not like that. His digestive system is not made up. The digestive system of the humans is not made up to eat the non-vegetarian food, but we adopt. No, as we get addicted to alcohol, as we get addicted to smoking, right? There are different addictions. So eating non-vegetarian food is also a kind of addiction, which is human being can live or can survive without eating non-vegetarian food. Okay, so non-vegetarian food is always not promoted in the spiritual practices or in the field of yoga or in the when you are walking on the path of spirituality, because once you start getting adoption of this non-vegetarian food, you will acquire the animal qualities, you will acquire their stress hormones, you will acquire their life pattern. And that is actually, if you will observe carefully, the people who are eating more non-vegetarian food, they have the tamasic qualities more. Okay? So it depends on the person that he should promote or he should control his non-vegetarian food. So next one is best food method of food consumption for health. If you want to be healthy, if you want to live a sattvic life, then you should adopt eating food as a yajna karma, okay, as a ritual, as a practice of the spirituality. For that, there is a sloka that aham vaishvanaro bhutva praninam deham ashritaha pranapana samayuktah pachamyannam chaturvitham. God, no, aham. Sri Krishna is saying, aham, that means I am sitting in each and every body in the form of Vaishwanar. Okay, Vaishwanar is a kind of a fire. There is a Agni Bahabuta or fire basic element. So Vaishwanar is a kind of a fire which is present in the digestive system or in the stomach. That is called as a Jatragni. If you will go by the Ayurveda terminology, that is called as a Jatragni, okay, which is the fire present in the stomach. So it is one of the form of the God. Sri Krishna is saying, I am present in each and every body, in first of all in heart, as well as in the stomach also, in the form of Vaishwanar. Okay, Prani's body depend on this Jatragni. Okay, we eat food and that food get digested by this fire, and then our whole body get nourished with that food. So there are 4 types of food: solid, liquid, semi-solid, and chewable food. All this is getting digested by me or by Vaishwanar fire. Okay, God digests this food also with the help of Pancha Pranas. We know there are 5 pranas, yoga, that pran, saman, apan, vyan, with the help of that. Okay, so eating food is offering, should be the offering of to the something offering to the God. Okay, so eating food is not just for the sake of fulfillment of the tongue, or for the purpose of the tongue, or for the purpose of the taste. Eating food should be the activity, or it should be a yajna karma. Okay, it's something like offering. If the God is sitting in my stomach, and then I should offer good things to the God always, right? I should not offer nonsense or like non-vegetarian food and so many things. I should not offer the dead bodies of the animals to the God. Do we go in a temple and offer the dead bodies to the God? No, we offer good flowers, we offer good things, we go and pray in the temples. Okay, we offer always good things to the God. If the God is sitting in the form of Vaishwanar Agni in my stomach, why I should offer the dead bodies of the animals to him? Okay, so this is another. So it is a kind of a yajna karma. As you are doing your pujas, your ritual activities, eating food is a kind of a yajna karma, is a kind of a ritual. Okay, so sattvic food is a mandatory food which nourishes your body and mind and do not lead to any diseases. Okay, that should be always offered to the god who is sitting in the form of a Jataragni. Okay, so eating food is basically a yajna karma. So even we don't conduct the ritual activities by the side of the road. We go and eat the roadside food. Okay, so eating, just be aware that eating food is a kind of a ritual or is a kind of a religious activity. So we should be very concerned about that, or that how we are eating, where we are eating, or okay, which kind of food we are eating. Okay, so that is very more important. So there are few sutras which describes about the sattvic food, rajasic food, and the tamasic food also. So because of the lack of the time, we will just run here. आयुः सत्त्वबलारोग्य सुखप्रीति विवर्धनाः रस्याः स्निग्धाः स्थिरा रुद्या आहाराः सात्विकप्रियाः. Sattvic food is that food which promotes the longevity, intelligence, vigor, health, happiness, and cheerfulness. Sattvic food will never end up in acidity. Sattvic food will never end up in the no, after consumption of the food, so many people feel sleepy. Sattvic food will never end up in a sleepy or the drowsiness. Okay, so it will always make you happy and cheerful. For example, juices, some kind of a succulent, so it is a substantial also, and is naturally agreeable. You will not end up with any digestive consequences with the help of sattvic food. It is always full of rasyaha. Rasyaha means it will be juicy. Okay, it will be having the more liquid content more in the in that food. That food can be called as a sattvic food. Snigdaha, it will be moisturous, or it will be full of moisture. Stiraha, rudhyaha. Then the people like to now this liking depend on the personality also. So people will like to eat this kind of food. Okay, and that this kind of food is always liked by the sattva dominant people. Okay, they will their taste little bit it will not be too spicy, it will not be too sour kind of food. It will be always it will promote your sattva, your strength, your arogya, that is your health, and that is your happiness. Rajasic food. Okay, so all kind of spicy foods, all kind of salty food, sour, spicy, which end up in a kind of acidity, or dry fruits. Okay, so this kind of food can be called as rajasic food. Katvamla lavanatushna tikshna ruksha vidahinah ahara rajasaseshta dukkha shokamaya pradaha. Katu means spicy, amla, that is sour, lavana, salty, ushna, that is hot, tikshna, which is very what we can say, which can lead up to the acidities. Okay, ruksha means dry fruit, dry kind of food. Okay, vidahinaha, ahara rajaseshta, this kind of food can be called as a rajasic food. All food which is spicy, sour, salty, overheated, pregnant, dry, burning kind of food, which is actually available in McDonald's and other things, which causes suffering, griefs, and sickness. Okay, so that kind of food can be called as a rajasic food that will end up in some kind of a digestive disorders if I am consuming rajasic food for a longer duration of time. Then coming to the tamasic food. यातयामं गतरसं पूति पर्युषितं च यत् उच्छिष्टमपि चामेध्य भोजनं तामसप्रियम्. So tamasic food is that kind of food which is ill cooked, which is either not cooked properly or overcooked, poorly cooked or overcooked. Okay, so many times we dietitians or some kind of they tell us that half fried omelette or half cooked food. Okay, so this half cooked food or overcooked food undergoes in the tamasic food. Okay, so not fully ripened also. So many times you'll find the apples or find of a fruit which is completely ripened, either least ripened or more ripened. that undergoes the tamasic food. Because people say I am eating vegetable food, I am eating only fruits, and then how can you say this is tamasic food, or which is undergoing some kind of a decomposition. Okay, so you be aware which kind of fruit you are eating. Though it is a fruit, though it falls in the sattvic food category, it can be a tamasic food also. Okay, so please be aware of all these things. Which is tasteless, which is putrid. That means it is the food can be a rotten away. The food can undergo the decaying process also. Okay, the food can be stale also. Stale means old. All that ready to cook atom, preserved food or ready to cook atoms of the food products, that falls in the tamasic food. Okay, that just you get the product, you just add the warm water in that, and the food is ready. Okay, so all that falls in the tamasic food category. It is polluted, which make you impure also. Okay, so this kind of food always result in different health disorders, or different health abnormalities. Especially digestive or disorders are caused by all this kind of consumption of the tamasic food. So we have to be worried, or we have to be conscious what kind of food we are eating. Okay, so at the end of our this series, what are the success keys? Because we discussed about the spiritual anatomy and physiology. We discussed the causes of the diseases according to Bhagavad Gita: karmic causes, atmospheric causes, genetic causes. After that, we discussed a little bit about the I mean the psychological qualities of a fetus, behavioral qualities of the fetus. So at the end of the series, I would like to end this series with this one of the with these two sutras. So the basic aim of the human life is to get the mental peace. Okay, so what these are actually, these two slokas you should by heart. Okay, you should memorize it always. So what is the output or taken away for from the Bhagavad Gita is that Brahma Bhutah Prasannatma na shochati na kangshati sama sarvashu bhuteshu mad bhaktim labhate param. Try to go beyond a pair of opposites. There will be a pain in the life, there will be a gain in the life, there will be the acknowledgements, there will be the criticism in the life. Okay, so these are the pairs of opposite: day and night, heat and cold. These are the pairs of opposites. So no, try to be like a child, try to go beyond these pairs of opposite. Brahma Bhutah Prasannatma. Enjoy each and every activity or each and every incident, each and every second of the life with blissfulness. Okay, not expecting anything. Try to keep your expectations at minimum to minimum level. Then you will find happiness everywhere. Na shochati na kangshati. Samas sarveshu bhuteshu. Not getting depressed by any worst circumstances, and behave equally with all. Let it be the person in front, sitting or standing in front of you, be your friend, be your enemy. Try to behave equally with them. Try to help each and every person in this surrounding to you in this universe. Okay, don't try to get some kind of a preferences or priorities. Okay, priorities on the basis of races, priorities on the basis of caste, communities, nationalism, anything. Okay, try to behave equally with each and every person in this universe. Then mad bhaktim labhate param. Then you will achieve the God, or you will achieve the mental peace. Okay, next one is that the tool for this, we need some kind of a tool. So what Krishna is saying: sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayashyami ma shuchah. So in this series, since last 10 days, we are learning that what I should do and what I should not do. Of course, if we come to know some new things, I'm happy for that. So but if still we will commit some mistakes also in future, in few next days also. So what Sri Krishna is asking, I mean, following the rules and guidelines is required, but in that process we can commit so many things, so many mistakes also. We will do something correctly, but we will commit some mistake also. So for that, sarva dharman parityajya, resigning all your duties or all your karmas, whichever good karma you have conducted, whichever wrong karma you have conducted, give it, surrender to me. Sarva dharman parityaja mamekam sharanam vraja. Surrender that all right wrong things, right wrong karmas, surrender to me. The all powerful divinity or God is sitting for you. He is sitting in your heart, he is sitting in your stomach. To surrender to him, okay, and take refuge to him only. Okay, don't get attached to all material things. Okay, aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishami ma shuchoh. I will give you, then this Sri Krishna is saying, I will give you freedom from all the bondages. I will give you the peace of mind. So he will absolve you from all the sins. So don't worry at all. That please surrender to God always. So I'm concluding this uh, series of medical review of Bhagavad Gita with this last eight, because this is a 78 sutra, last sutra of the Bhagavad Gita, also in the 18th chapter, 78 sutras, that yatra yogeshwarah krishno yatra partho dhanurtarah tatra shri vijayo bhuti dhruva nitir mamaha. Whenever there is a Bhagwan Sri Krishna, that is a Lord of Yoga, Yogeshwaraha, the Lord of Yoga, Yoga. Wherever there is a Krishna, that is whenever there is these spiritual understandings, this spiritual messages. Since last 10 years we are discussing, whenever we will follow all these messages or understandings, and yatra partho dhanurdharaha, and that means we are Arjunas actually. So wherever there is a Arjuna, with all wielder of the Gandiv bow, we have that lot of tools. We have the psychological power to follow on this path of yoga or on this path of message of Bhagavad Gita. Okay, and then the goodness, victory, glory, unfalling righteousness will surely be there. Health will surely be there. If we'll follow all these messages of Bhagavad Gita, which we might have acquired in last 10 days, if we'll follow that, no one can beat you. No one will stop you from achieving the health, internal health as well as external health. And this is Sanjaya's conviction. Okay, so this was the last sutra in the 18th chapter of the 78th sutra of Bhagavad Gita. So the health, always, internal or external health, always will be there if we'll follow the message which is we tried to decode in the last 10 days. That we try to review the Bhagavad Gita with the medical aspect. Okay, so I wish you a happy and healthy life, and we should start. If I could make you to adopt new patterns of your life, I will be very happy for that. So all these my efforts are Sri Krishna Arpanavastu. I am offering all my these efforts of last 10 days towards the Lord Krishna, towards my beloved deity. So I'm offering all these efforts to him, and he gave me the chance, or he gave me the opportunity to, he gave me the strength, he gave me the knowledge, and so that knowledge I should be able to share with you, or I could able to share with you. And I'm very thankful to him for that. Thank you very much. And I'm ending this presentation here. Where is the recording? These are all network issues.